This is my final project overview for SGD 113. I'll be explaining my code and demonstrating the game running. So for starters, let's go to the navigator, which is my class file. As required, one or more, I have one. What we have here is we have the class room, and we have public int north, south, west, east. So what this is saying is we just basically make that a numerical value, these names. And then we have and then we're giving these numerical values a value. So int n, int s, int w, int e. We define those as north, south, west, east. And then we go to our main program file. And right here we have this room array is, first of all, we have a string user input. That's waiting for an input. And then the in room num0, that's where you're starting at the start of the game. And each one of these is a room. There's 16 rooms, 0 all the way to 15, so you have to 16. And for each of these, it will tell you what direction you can go and what you can't. -1 indicates you can't go there. And if we have in a while loop down here, we also have a special place where you cannot travel there. So if you put in a value where it is or if you go a place, let's say south, but it's not letting in that direction you're not supposed to go, you cannot travel here, is what it'll say. And we also have while user input not equal to exit. All this, including what to do when user input is north, south, west, east. We'll get more to that later. So right here we have new room, -1. You cannot go north from the starting room, like my level layout shows. In the other project I submitted, you cannot go. You can go south. You can't go west. You can't go east. And for one, you can go to, and then for these other values are what room it takes you to. So if you were to go, let's say, like the order here matters. So the beginning one is north. So right here, if you were to go north, it would take you to level 0, back to where you came. If you were to go south, it would take you to level 4, because that's below. In -1, you can't go west. 2 is east. So that it essentially goes on like that. We tell what room, what direction you go in, let's send you to what room, and it's what direction you cannot go in. So that's essentially how this array works and why we're using it for this. Here we have descriptions in this room array for each individual room. And then we have while user input not equal to exit, all this that I previously explained. We have user input, like for example, right here we have south, north, south, and then south can also be capital S, same with north. West, it can also be capital W. And we're also saying that the room you go has to be greater than -1, because -1 means you can't go there. So, and the room array room num is essentially keeping track right here of where you are each time. So wherever direction you're going in for up here, it will say. So it will just it'll write the text of where you are. So whenever you move from room to room, it will do this text, and it'll get to what the room you're at. Now if I were to run the project, as you can see, you are in the Carabide Royal Resort in Orlando, Florida. That's a 5-star hotel in Florida. And that's just one I picked. I've never been there because 5-star hotels aren't cheap. They're very expensive. But I just wanted the fancy hotel for the game, so I named it that. You're here as a tourist. So instruct you to go south. If I were to say north, for example, capital N, it would say up here, you cannot travel here, and then it will repeat the same text. But if I were to say S, which is capital S in south, it takes you to the city entrance. You arrive at the city entrance, go east to go to Disneyland, or go south to enter downtown. Let's go to Disneyland, I'll type a capital E. You're at the amusement park, you enter the magical theme park Disneyland, go south to get to the restaurant, or go east to go to the roller coaster ride. I want to go to the roller coaster ride, so I just press E, and then take you to the ride. And then after that, if I were to make this, I go back west. So we can go back west, or we can go east to exit the ride. So if I press east again, we can take us there. It says you exit. Now we want to go to the arcade, so we go south. And it essentially goes on and on. There's not really an objective to this game. I didn't really have a good story idea. So this is more just a tourist tech simulator. I contemplated using Asterisk Art or Unicode or to do that, but that was kind of impractical for my needs, and in order to display it, my recording software would also have to work differently because I don't have enough space on the screen I'd have to make the window, the command, the window. I'd have to make the command prompt window bigger. So in other words, I would to display the art for it to be legible. And also another thing I was thinking of doing was using a Windows form factor or Windows form window for like a normal application, and then so I would show so it'd be and there would be a command prompt in it, but that would also be too much work, and my data shows I was allowed to do that, so I'm like, okay, I'll just do it just the generic way, and it's still serviceable, it still meets all the requirements. So in what direction do you wish to travel? Just so that we can go back. If I were to type in north, it takes you back to the exit of the roller coaster ride. And if I were to go stop thinking to the arcade, it takes you to the arcade. So I'm not gonna play through the whole game because I'd have to go to each individual room and each individual sequencing combination. But essentially, you see how it works and I would hope I did a good job explaining why what works, like the while loop, how we gave each of these a value. We give north equal n, so it can just recognize both ways of entering the command, not just north, not just south, and north, as well as all the description up here. I also will highlight the like I am instructed to do on the Notion page and the Bryce page. I will also be submitting a zip file with all the images of the code. That essentially is it, and I've learned a great deal from this semester, so thank you to both of my professors, Professor Blair and Professor Quarter. I look forward to next semester.